Storage boxes come in a variety of shapes and sizes, but they all serve the same purpose: storing tools and accessories in a neat and portable package. More importantly, they keep all the parts, manuals, and accessories together. But storing systainers themselves can be expensive, clunky, or time-consuming. Hi, I'm Derek, and this video is about a simple design for storing your favorite molded plastic boxes. I'm building to fit this small section of wall space. It's about the right width for a systainer, and it's not usable for much else. There are two major parts in this design: threaded rod and wooden shelves. The rods are cut to fit the height of your space, and the shelves are cut to fit the dimensions of your box. All the parts you need are at your local home center. You can cut the shelves any way you like from any material you have using any combination of tools. There's really no right or wrong way here, so you can just kind of wing it. First, get the outside dimensions of your box. I'm marking up a template that could be used with a router, but I also made a SketchUp template that I could use on my CNC. I'll show both. Next, I measure and mark the location of the feet. I found it's best to oversize these, as the point isn't to get a perfect fit, just to prevent the box from sliding around on the shelf. Using a Forstner bit that roughly matches the feet, I clear out most of the waste. Then, using a chisel, I square off the corners and clean up the template. Then I trim the template down to the size of the actual box. Once you've completed the template for your box, you can start cutting the shelves. Make sure to leave space around the box for both the threaded rods and your hands. Using a template bit, I cut the feet into the shelf. My shelves are made from leftover plywood scraps in a variety of thicknesses. I had to make a few adjustments to my template to get everything fitting well. I use my CNC to speed up the process and produce perfect results. Now make sure you pre-drill the holes for the threaded rod using either a corner template or a drill press fixture. And once you've repeated this process a few times, you're ready to start with the threaded rod. Cut your threaded rod to match the height of your space. I'm cutting these rods down to 8 foot. For proper threading, you may have to clean up the ends of the rods using a file. To save time, I'm showing the assembly of a smaller shelf, but the process is the same. And as you might have guessed, it's pretty simple. You just lock in the shelves using nuts and washers on the threaded rod. Once you place the first shelf, place the first box, and now you know where to put the second shelf. And it's really about that simple. I also added wheels to the bottom shelf. This cart fits nicely under my table saw, and I think it came out pretty sweet. For the larger builds, it can get a bit more tedious. For one, the longer the rod, the more ungainly they are to work with. I suggest starting with the middle shelf and working outwards, which requires you to pre-measure where your shelves are going to go. Also, the longer the rod, the longer it can take to screw those nuts on. If each shelf has 8 nuts, 4 on top and 4 on bottom, it can get quite tedious on an 8-foot rod. Other than that, the process is more or less the same as the smaller unit. One last thing of note: if I were to build a taller unit again, I would use a smaller section of threaded rod and simply join them together using threaded rod extensions. I don't think I'd lose anything over a single threaded rod, and it would have saved me a lot of time. If you're going to mount the storage, it's best to ensure that everything fits nicely before installing it. The longer the rods, the more unstable the shelving is, but I found a couple of pocket screws is plenty strong even for an 8-foot tall unit full of tools. I screwed a scrap piece of ply into the wall studs, and then using one of the existing shelves, attach it to the ply with pocket screws. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you'd like to see more.